Hi Andrew, my name is Suzanne Lancaster and I am making a video about your website to give you some tips on how to get ranked higher in Google for different suburbs that you are probably trying to get into. I found your information on Thumbtack when I was looking for fencing companies in Mansfield, Texas. And I was just looking through your website. Of course, you have a very nice website. I'm sure you know that. Looks like you do a lot of work in the area. I like that you have some content on here that you talk about what types of fencing you do, what other commercial services you do, the other stuff that you do just in general, the testimonials. Of course, being on Angie's List is a big deal, and Better Business Bureau is a big deal. These labels, that's funny. Like that. We really don't use that anymore. Anyways, so let's talk about fences specifically because that's what I was looking for. I would say that you need to have more information on the fact that you do fences, text specifically. Um, Really, when you talk about your residential fences, you need to have about 1,000 words of content about the fences themselves. You know, between wood, ornamental, if y'all do vinyl, if y'all do chain link, which you might not, you need to talk a lot about it. Go into very great detail, and you need to talk about what you what different areas you serve. So when I'm talking about Mansfield, Texas, it's a big suburb I'm sure you're aware of in the Fort Worth area. Has about 150,000 people, so it's a good place to focus your efforts on because there's going to be a lot of people in the area who need new fences, on a yearly basis. And then, of course, going into commercial, the same thing. I would just put some more information on here, more content that talks about the fences. So when I look for fencing companies in Mansfield, Texas, the first guys that come up in the Google local, so you know this is the name, address, and phone number local listings on Google. So these guys have a local business in Mansfield. So I would recommend getting a name, address, and phone number in Mansfield and submitting it to a lot of different online directories to get bumped up into the top 3 of the Google local map packs. So how many websites are we talking about? So there's a website called LightSpark that talks about the citations. So these guys have 43 other online directories talking about them with their name, address, and phone number. So that's the first thing I would do is get a mailing address in Mansfield or whatever suburb you're trying to focus on and get ranked up higher in that. And another reason I picked Mansfield is there's not a lot of Mansfield fencing companies actually. These guys say Mansfield, but they are not in Mansfield. They are somewhere else. So it's not as service heavy as other parts of the Metroplex are. I know that a lot of people have focused on, like the Keller area, South Lake, and those are very service heavy areas already. And so this is just a little bit easier to break into, I think. So let's see. A&A Fence in Mansfield is actually in Arlington. They have a lot of information on the website about being in Mansfield, and that's the reason they're ranked so high. They have a subdomain. I'll move this so you can tell, service areas Mansfield. So they have a subdomain about Mansfield specifically, which is why they're getting ranked higher. So they talk about their fence company. This is their title. They're in Mansfield. They list Mansfield 4 times. They talk about the services that they provide. They have some pictures. The pictures on your website, I didn't mention that, need to be keyword specific. So they need to talk about what type of fence it was, where it was installed, what type of wood, just information like that. Any sort of keywords that Google sees is going to help you get ranked up higher in Google because of that. So the other thing these guys have besides their keywords, which for fences is fairly straightforward, is they have a lot of votes from other websites. So those are called backlinks. And this software called Majestic we can look at, and there are 14 other um, websites talking about them, which is a lot, but that's something that we can help you with. We can get votes from other websites to the Mansfield Fencing Company, which is what I would like to create for you, or even to Titan Fencing. So my idea is to have a website for each suburb that you want to focus in on. I'm not that big on subdomains. I think overall that building a separate website per suburb is going to be the better option in terms of Google taking you seriously as a local fencing company. So Mansfield Fencing Company is an available name and no one has it there yet. And so we can use it. We can also use it as a URL. You can see in the header we have building fences, and subheader has the type of fences. This is a clickable link, so if someone's looking at this on their smartphone, they push this with their finger and it automatically dials it. We have the email contact form, so this is the first thing that people see. They can fill it out. You can email within 30 seconds, or there's software that we can set up that they fill this out, they push submit, and you get a phone call connecting you with that person. This is the content I was talking about. This is overall about 1,000 words of content talking about the different types of fences, gated entry, common questions that has all of the fencing services you do. I know that y'all did other stuff like pergolas and pavement and stuff like that. Cities, these are all the cities very close to Mansfield. These are about 30 minutes outside Mansfield or so or less. So I'm trying to focus in on a very specific area. Typical fence cost, this is just for people to look at. This is another clickable link. We have our social media links, so Facebook, Instagram, Google+. Pinterest is another good one to add because Pinterest is very picture heavy. So you upload a lot of pictures to Pinterest of fence installation that you've done, and people are looking at it and they're finding you because of that, which is a really good thing. Oh, excuse me. And then here are the pictures, and this is on a slideshow, so it doesn't take up a lot of real estate on the website, but people are still able to see the nice work that you do. Having a YouTube video is also a really good idea. If you have some video of a really neat fence installation, uploading that to YouTube, tagging it with the keywords we talked about before, and then connecting it to this website is going to really help Google see your website more because of the YouTube. Google now owns YouTube, so anything we do on YouTube, we are doing on Google in a roundabout way, and it helps us out even more. If you don't want to go with Mansfield Fencing Company, we can still use that as a URL. We could even say Titan, sorry, I was thinking title, I don't know why. Titan Mansfield Fencing Company, something like that, just so your name is in there, and this is in there also. Google likes to see titles that are close to the search terms. And then there's an About Us page, which we can fill out for you, make it specific for you, has a contact form. Portfolio you can look at, and it can have all the different pictures on here. We can have like one row of one job, a second row of another job, etc. Just keep on going down as much as you want to put on there, of course making it keyword rich. Let me show you what this looks like on a mobile device. You can see our title, our header, our subheaders, the clickable link. The first thing that people look at when they're looking on their cell phone, the email contact form, having this up front is really important. We have the slideshow going, and then all the text that is necessary for any good website to get ranked higher in Google. And you can even look at the About Us portfolio and contact pages. So those are just some ideas I had about creating a specific website for a specific suburb for your company. I would love to work with you. If you would like to, please call me. My name is Suzanne Lancaster. My phone number is 214-236-4678. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video.